Hi, Verbling. My name's Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and today we're talking about sports, going over vocabulary and having some discussion. If you guys have any questions or comments on this class, you can let me know on Facebook, and I'll put my Facebook name in the chat box for you. I also do private tutoring sessions, and I have plenty more available hours this week. If you're interested in booking a private session, go ahead and click the link to my Facebook or my Verbling profile. Raphael, welcome to class.
Hi, Michaela. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing today, Raphael?
I'm doing well too. Nothing different.
The elections are over.
Yes, and I was working on the election.
Really? You work on
Yes,
Sunday?
yes, yeah. Actually, I was working on the election day for the election day.
Ah, I see. That makes more sense. Was it a lot of work?
It's kind of boring, but at the end of it all, it is good because I can take 3 days off of work
Oh,
because of
nice.
that.
Very nice. Worth it.
Yes.
Okay, so today we're talking about sports, and before we get into our document, I'd like to define what a sport is. So, do you have a definition for what the word sport means? What does it mean to you?
Oh, I hate definitions in English because sometimes I cannot define things in Portuguese. So to define things in English, it's even harder.
Yes, yes.
Um, okay, I could say that sport is a kind of game, and sometimes you play it with your mind, or sometimes you play with your body, with
Interesting.
movements.
So, would you consider dancing a sport?
Dancing a sport? I maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so.
Okay, that's okay. It's your opinion. What about fishing? Would you think of fishing as a sport?
No, no, I don't think it's a sport.
Chess?
Chess? Mm, maybe I think chess, it is fair to call it a sport because you play with your mind and you need to be really smart to win. That's
Mm-hmm.
not my case because I don't know how to play it. Some
It
people say,
requires
"Oh,
strategy.
shame on you." Some people say, "Shame on you because you are a math teacher and you don't know how to play chess." But
That's
that's
funny.
okay.
All right. So then what would you consider sports? I mean, aside from the obvious, okay, soccer is a sport, of course. What are some other sports you can think of?
Um, some people complain saying that tennis table is not a sport, but I do believe it's a sport.
Okay. Yeah, table tennis. I think
Table
that's a
tennis.
sport as well. I agree with you. All right. Um, what about martial arts? Is that a sport?
Yes, of course. Especially, I think sports in general, they are defined by using your body. I mean, and for you, when you fight in a friendly way, of course it is a sport. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. What do you think is the most dangerous sport?
Mm, maybe dangerous. I think these violence, violent sports like UFC and It's really dangerous because you can
Mm.
end up dead.
Yeah, definitely. Very violent. So, if you could do away with violent sports like UFC, would you?
No, definitely not.
Okay, so you think they're really violent and dangerous, but you wouldn't change them. You wouldn't get rid of them if you had the
No, no,
opportunity
now I understand. If I could uh,
to do away with
make it
them.
disappear. Oh, okay. Yes, I okay. We are two here, so I can say that. I think I feel sad when because people support this kind of sport because I don't think it should exist.
Mm.
It's too violent.
So if you had the opportunity, would you get rid of it? You'd do away
Yes,
with these violent sports?
yes.
So you do away
No
with
doubt.
UFC. What about like martial arts, like
No, my
normal
martial
martial arts?
arts, it's okay. Like, I don't know how to call them in English, but when you fight in a nice way, in a friendly way, I mean, you're not going to hurt me like you're going to how can I say to re not to remove blood, but when you
Mhm.
give me the verb to,
Sparring.
to sparring.
Mhm. So
Yes.
when you fight for the purpose of points, but not for the purpose of actually hurting the other
Mm,
person.
exactly.
Interesting. All right. And do you think professional sports are too commercial these days?
Yes, I don't agree with when I see, for example, soccer players getting so rich. They are billionaire, millionaire
Yeah.
today, and I don't think it's fair because you think, oh my God, of course it is important. I respect their job, but when you think about, oh, they are having fun and earning a lot of money at the same time, and it's not fair. And you work as a teacher, and I think you are more important. You're doing something more important, and you
Mhm.
don't receive 1% of what they are receiving. They
Yeah,
are
it's
earning.
depressing when you think about it.
Like it's not a sport, but something that really bothers me when I see Giselle Bündchen and other models earning a lot of money to change clothes, to
Mhm.
to make some steps, and to take photos. And the blame is on us because we support that.
Yeah, it's totally true. It's a system that doesn't make much sense, but we created it.
Yes.
All right. So I put the notes in the chat box for you, and I will screen share a copy so that we can keep together. And we're going to talk a little bit about some sports in the picture. Do you know what the first sport is here?
I'm not sure. Is it? Uh, oh, it's a different name. Badminton.
Yes,
Badminton.
exactly. Mm-hmm. So, what do you see in this picture? What are they using to play badminton?
Okay. Comfortable clothes. I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to. Uh, this material, I think it's very comfortable
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't make you feel hot. It doesn't warm your skin. I think
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
use sneakers, socks, uh, light clothes,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how. Is it a racket?
Yeah, a racket. They both have a racket in hand.
Yes, and it's not a ball, and I don't know how to
No.
call it in English because in Portuguese we say that it's oh my God, I forgot the name in Portuguese. It's a peteca, but
Oh,
in
that's
English I
funny.
don't know.
That's funny that it's called peteca.
Yeah.
Um, it's called a birdie or a cock shuttle. I call it a birdie, but I think the more professional name is a cock shuttle.
Can you type it?
Yeah, I'm making a list here of the things we're naming off. There's one more thing that's between them. Do you know what that's called?
Mm, is it why? No, not a wire. Is no, I don't know.
That's called a net. A simple
Net.
net. And where are they playing it?
Um, mm, no, I don't know the name in English.
They play on a court.
Court.
Excellent. I'm glad we get some new vocabulary. I find it hard to stump you. Okay. So they're using athletic clothes and sneakers. They each have a racket. They're playing with a birdie or a cock shuttle, and they play around a net and on a court. I think that's all we see in the picture. So let's go on to the next one.
Have you ever played it?
Badminton?
Yes.
I've played it, but only outdoors. So I think normally this game is played on a court, and I've played it like on the beach in the sand.
Mm.
So I don't
Is
know
it
if that counts.
possible? Is it possible to play that on the beach because it's very windy and does not the wind tricks you?
Well, the when I played it, it was actually on the bank of a lake, so it
Uh,
wasn't the ocean. It wasn't like the actual beach. I guess wasn't being totally honest here. It was on a lake, so there wasn't that much wind or not enough to really cause a problem in the game. But I'm still really bad at this game, and I think I've only played it like once or twice in my life. So the game didn't go very well with or without the help of the wind.
mm-hmm.
All right, so the next one, do you see what sport they're playing?
No, no. But my friend Igor is
Mm-hmm.
telling me that it's cricket.
Could be. I
Yeah,
think he's right.
just a moment. Sorry. Okay, because I'm at work and sometimes people come here and ask me things. Sorry.
Hmm. Yeah, no problem.
I'm free now.
It's cricket.
Cricket.
And where are they playing? It's like grassy and outdoors, right?
Yes, yes, on the grass. It's not a
Uh-huh.
field, right?
Oh, it's a field, exactly.
Yes. Field.
Awesome. So they're playing on a field. And what are they each holding?
Mm, I don't know the name of that.
Mallets. They're using
Mallet.
mallets and they're playing on a field for cricket. All
It
right.
it seems to be boring.
Yes, I agree. This is kind of an old person sport, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And it's also sort of a British thing. Like Igor mentioned, it's like maybe British or Australian, but I've played it, again, maybe once in my life.
I want to know your opinion because it seems to be something like golf, for example. And sometimes I think people play some sports just for the how can I say that? Maybe, for example, I can say I don't like to play golf, but I just do it just to look nice, just to look that I'm a very wealth
Like
person.
sophisticated or
Yeah,
something.
sophisticated, yes. Don't you think that
Yeah.
sometimes people play sports just because of that, and at the end of it all, they're not having fun?
I think that might be the case because I don't see much appeal in sports like golf or cricket. I think they're a little slow for me. Maybe this is just because I'm like, an impatient millennial girl, but I don't think that they're very exciting to watch or to play.
Yes, I
So
agree
I
with
think
you.
you're right. All right. And the last one we have here is an Olympic sport. Have you seen this game played before on the Olympics?
Yes, it is so weird and so
Yeah,
awkward.
I
I
totally
mean,
agree.
I respect that, but I don't think it makes sense to me to throw it's not a ball. It looks like a ball, but it's not a ball. And it you keep rubbing the ice until it goes to the center of a circle. Mm, weird
Hmm.
and funny.
Yes, exactly. Do you know the name of it?
No,
It's called curling.
curling.
Uh-huh. And
Mm.
it's played on an ice rink. And I think the things they use are called like stones or something. I'm not positive about that, but I think they're called stones. And they use brushes, of course, to move the stone where they need it to go. But yeah, it's a totally weird sport.
Oh, come on, Igor. Come to the class and help me because it is not fair.
Yeah, he knows all the answers apparently.
Yes.
So what's your favorite sport, Rafael?
It's not soccer. You know,
What?
we live in Brazil. We live in Brazil. When I say Brazil, they say, "Oh, soccer, carnival." I hate that. I
So
hate
you
when
hate
people do
you
that.
hate soccer and carnival or
No,
just
no,
soccer?
I'm not saying that I hate soccer and carnival. I
Ah.
hate when I say that I live in Brazil and people the the first thing that comes to their minds is are soccer and carnival. I like soccer in a common way because you know you are here. People
Mhm.
love soccer. I just like it.
Yeah. I I like soccer. I don't really care that much about soccer, but I think it's fun to watch other people watch soccer because they get so excited about things.
Yes.
But I don't really care that much about it.
I
So do you
only
have a team?
watch it when my team is playing
Ah,
Flamengo.
okay.
If
All
my
right.
team is not playing, I don't watch it. I just check the results, but I don't watch it. My favorite one is volleyball.
Ooh, that's a great sport. Do you play or do you watch?
Mm, I suck at playing that.
So you mainly
I try.
watch?
I try. I have fun when I'm playing, but not professionally. I'm bad at playing volleyball.
Got it. And I don't really understand peteca. I know the concept, but I don't know how you play. Are there rules involved in peteca?
Peteca?
Yeah,
Do you
like
mean?
the earlier you mentioned that the
No,
top.
peteca it's not a sport.
Well, then what is it? I thought people played it on the beach. I heard that
Okay, but
people used to.
when I say peteca, it's not
Uh-huh.
the name of the sport, but is it? It's the how can I say that? You told me.
The name of the cock shuttle.
Yes, cock shuttle.
So then, what do you do with the peteca?
You play with your hands, with the palm of your hands. You don't use
Is
a
there a name
racket.
for that sport?
No, no, it's the name of the object, and it's not a
Okay.
sport.
Oh, okay. It's not a sport. Why
No,
isn't it
it's
a
not a.
sport?
It's not a. Badminton is a
Mhm.
sport.
Mhm.
Peteca is not a sport because you don't use a racket. You use the palm of your hands in Brazil, and it's not popular anymore because you know today children don't like to play sports anymore. They don't go to the streets to play with each other. They have
Mm.
video games now.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. What do you think about
Yes.
that?
Yes, it is very, very sad because I don't see children playing on the street anymore, and that's why they are becoming fatter.
It's possible. We do spend a lot more time indoors than in front of computer screens.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
When you work, how much time do you spend sitting down? Is it like a lot of time in a chair, or do you get to stand up and walk around a little?
I try to stand out and walk a little, but I spend most of the time sit and in front of the computer.
Mm-hmm. I do too. It's hard to avoid. I always thought that I wouldn't be one of those people who has, a computer job because I'm always like wanting to go do stuff and be adventurous. And I always thought I would never have a job like that. But I really enjoy working on Verbling, and it does require me to sit in front of a computer screen for several hours. And it's kind of like I wish that it didn't, but on the other hand, it's really convenient. It's convenient for me, it's convenient for students, and it's enjoyable. So I guess we'll just have to get our exercise another way.
I'm happy you like it because I would like it too. It's better teaching English than working in the office dealing with people that you don't like. That's
Yeah,
my case.
definitely. I'm lucky that I don't have to have any office politics.
Yes, I can say that it's not so hard because I have a really nice boss and she's not bossy. I mean, she under she she allows me to do everything that I ask for. But the problem with the with my job is that I deal with professors, and they think that they are uh, the gods of knowledge, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
They
there's a
know
lot of
everything and you know
reputation
nothing,
involved.
and you are like a slave. But I'm happy because I don't need to lower my head, if you know what I mean. If they
Mhm.
scream, I can scream back. I mean, because I'm not going to lose my job. I work for the government.
Nice.
I
Job
took a
security is
test.
important.
Yes, yes, I took a test to work here. So I say the same. You are here because you took a test, and I'm here for the same reason. So put yourself in your position, and I
Mhm.
put mine.
All right. So then how do you get your exercise? If you don't get much exercise, I guess you're indoors all day working. What do you do when you want to get out and just get a little exercise or a little sunshine?
I go to the gym. Actually, shame on me because I have been skipping gym for 2 weeks in a row because I don't like to go to the gym. I confess.
So why do you go if you don't like it?
Because it's important. We know that that doing exercises, working out is important for our health.
Mhm.
So that's why I do it. But
Mhm.
I don't mean the exercise. I mean not the environment. Do you understand when I'm saying environment? The
So you like the environment of the gym?
Yes, I don't like it.
Oh, you don't
That's
like
why
it.
I don't I avoid going there because I think people there are
They're a little stuck up or extreme about exercise.
no, not extreme, but when you it's not fair saying that they are useless.
Saying that they're useless. The people?
No, no, not the people, the way you think. I mean,
Ah.
you are superficial.
Mhm.
Superficial.
Oh, yes.
That's
Yes.
the word,
For
the adjective I was looking for because you only
Mhm.
care about your body and they are strong and they keep staring uh, at themselves in the mirror. So when I see that, I wonder, what am I doing here? That's why I
Yeah.
don't like to go to the gym. And I bought a treadmill But a treadmill is not enough because I really want to exercise my muscles and
Mm-hmm.
I need to go to the gym. But when I need to use treadmill, I do it from home because I have one.
Well, that's nice. You've got a little home equipment.
Hmm.
What about when you want to have a little sunshine? What do you do outdoors?
I don't because I don't live close to the ocean, close to the beach. And it's really boring to go outside and see cars.
Yes, I agree. If you don't have space or a park to play games or run around in, then
Yes,
the
green
outdoors doesn't
area.
seem very nice. Actually, that's one thing that I think, I don't know if this is a cultural difference or what the difference is here, but in the US, usually a park has lots and lots of grass. And I find that in Brazil, most parks are just cement, which
Mm.
is nice, but it's actually a little different because you can't
No,
really
it's
like
not nice.
play. Yeah, I don't like it as much. You can't run around, you can't
You
play, you
don't need
can't
to
have a
say that it's
picnic.
nice because it's not.
But
When I
I'm
see
not sure
Central
why.
Park through the pictures,
Mhm.
I envy them.
Yeah, that kind of environment is nice. And I
Yes,
know
and
that
I
in
and I see it is in the city,
mhm.
and
Yeah.
they have Central Park. Why don't we have a park like this in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, in Minas?
I think that there's the Parque Municipal in Belo Horizonte is pretty nice. It's not as large as the as some parks, but I think it's a nice area, but I think there should be more of them for sure. Because it's nice for kids and for adults.
Mm, I don't know it. I've been to Minas, but not in Belo Horizonte.
It's kind of like, yeah, it's just a large park and it's got lots of trees and a little bit of grass and like a little fake lake kind of thing that you can take a boat out, tiny little boat out onto. It's not huge, but it's nice. It's pretty nice. And I think I wish there were more because when I think of Brazil, I think of like this amazing area of tropical trees and jungle and all kinds of green life. But in the cities, it's actually not that easy to find.
Yeah, I think people think this way in general. People from different countries when they think about Brazil, and when they got here, when they get here, they get frustrated.
Mm. There's a lot of really, I think it's a learning experience, but I do miss grass. Like, there's so many things that I do love and appreciate, and I think there are a lot more trees around than in the in U.S. cities, or at least, in Phoenix, where I'm from. There really are not that many trees. So here, there's a lot more trees, but a lot less grass, and I miss grass.
Is Phoenix a state?
Phoenix is the capital of Arizona. It's
Oh,
a large
Arizona.
city in Arizona. And it's a really dry, deserty area. So I really appreciate all of the green moisture here, like everything growing, everything is alive.
Can I ask why you decide to come to Brazil?
Um, it's, I mean, I guess there were a lot of reasons. The first is that I moved to Italy a few years ago and I spent a year in Italy and I made a lot of Brazilian friends because I made a lot of friends who were also immigrants because we were learning Italian and I had a lot in common with other people who had moved to Italy. So all my friends were Brazilian and I think that's what started sort of opened my mind to
They
thinking about
convinced you
Brazil.
to
Yeah,
come
yeah,
to
kind
Brazil.
of. Because I didn't really know anything about Brazil until I went to Italy. And it's kind of funny because I went to Italy and I feel like I learned a lot about Brazil while I was there, but I think that's what inspired me to learn more. And then once I came here, I loved it. I really loved Brazil. So
How long
I'm
have you been
still
here?
2 years.
2 years.
Hmm. Yeah,
Do
it's
you
nice.
consider going back?
I Well, I am going back for a while. I'm taking some holidays and a little vacation, and I'll be going back to the US at the end of November. So I'll be back in the US for a while, but I think I'll come back to Brazil. I think I'll after a few months there, I'll come back to Brazil because I don't know, I really like it here, and I think I'm lucky that I have a lot of opportunity as an English teacher, and that I'm so free that I can take the trip if I want to. So
Yeah.
I
You're
think I
not
should take
going to
advantage
be
of that.
unemployed here.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm really grateful that I have that kind of opportunity
You're
to
Brazilian
travel.
now.
And yeah, I'm Brazilian now. I love Minas too, especially. I mean, I love all the states and lots of places, but I really love Minas. I think it's a friendly place full of, you know, green life and great food, and I really appreciate everything I found here.
Have you ever been to the south of Brazil?
I've I've been briefly a couple places. So I went to Rio for a little while. That's where I got my certificate for teaching English. And then I was there for about a month. And then I've been to Rio Grande do Sul for a little while when I was the last time and I came to Brazil when I arrived this time. I came up from Uruguay. So I bussed up and I spent a little time in Porto Alegre,
Hmm.
and that's about it. I really haven't spent that much time in the South. I've always wanted to see Sao Paulo and a couple other places in the South, like Santa Catarina and things like that. But I haven't had the opportunity yet. So that's another reason I have to come back, is there's just so much more that I'd like to see here.
I'm asking that because I really enjoy living in Rio de Janeiro because uh, the attention I mean in Brazil,
Hmm.
Rio de Janeiro is the most privileged city, but the life here sometimes it is not easy because of the traffic, because of the pollution. And
Mm.
if I had the chance to move to a different state, I would go to Paraná in the south of Brazil because everything is so organized, the traffic is
Really?
so good, and people are very polite. So if I had the opportunity to live there, I would go with no doubt.
Interesting. That's a funny choice because I haven't heard that many people talk about Paraná. I hear a lot of people talk about Santa Catarina and, of course, Rio, of course. But I don't hear that many people talk about Paraná.
Yes, Paraná, maybe it's not very popular,
Hmm.
but when it comes to a organized place, I mean
Hmm.
developed,
Is
it
Curitiba in
is,
Paraná? Or is
yes,
Curitiba? Ah, okay.
yes, yes,
Because I have heard a lot of people say how organized and amazing Curitiba is.
exactly.
Interesting. All right. So that makes sense. Would you move to Curitiba then? Or would you
Yeah,
like a different place in
I
Paraná?
would, I would, but if I move to Curitiba, I would miss my friends, my family.
Yeah.
I wish I could take them with me, but it's not possible.
I know. Wouldn't that be nice if you could just move everyone that you loved to the place that you
Mhm.
wanted to live?
Kind of selfish.
Yeah. I know the feeling though. I definitely know the feeling. Sometimes I want that too. Like, I miss all my family and friends in Arizona, and I'm like, well, you guys should just all come down here. And they're like, no, I don't think so. And I'm like, no, come on, it'll be great. But yeah, I have a lot more exploring to do. The south of Brazil, the north of Brazil, the west of Brazil. There's a lot. It's a huge, huge country.
But now I'm saving money to go to California. But I get sad because everything is so expensive in dollars.
Yes, that's
Uh,
true. It's difficult to save up money for a trip to the US.
yeah, I don't remember if I told you, but I have a friend from California, and
Oh,
he
nice.
came. Yes, I have actually. He found me 2 years ago, I think, 2 years ago, on a website called Conversation Exchange, We go there, we create a profile saying something like, "Oh, I'm Brazilian. My native language is Portuguese, and I'm looking for someone who is interested in learning Portuguese because I can teach that. And I'm looking for someone who can teach me English." And he found me there, and we have been talking twice a week since then. And he came
Wow.
to Brazil twice. He came to my home. He visited me twice, and now I'm saving
Cool.
money to stay at his home.
So that'll help with the cost a little bit. At least you have a place to stay. Do you know what part of California he's in?
San Diego.
Oh, what a perfect place. It's like the Bahia of the US, if there is one, you
Yes.
know.
He said that he's lucky because he's not rich and but he lives in a rich area. He said, "Oh, I'm not rich." And I saw that because I saw his home and I saw the homes from the left and from the right. He has a very nice home, but when it comes to the other houses, they are
Mhm.
like castles. And yes, and and he said, "Oh, I can't live here because this house is mine and it belonged to my grandparents.
Oh,
But
nice.
it's really expensive to live in San Diego, and I wouldn't afford living here if I needed to pay rent."
Yeah, California is actually a pretty expensive state to live in because it's nice land. Everyone wants to be close to the beach, right?
Yes,
So
and he
that's
likes
lucky.
living there because he can go to Tijuana, Mexico,
Mhm.
within 40 minutes, and that's why he speaks Spanish fluently.
Very cool. Very cool. And if you do go to California, let me know because Arizona is actually quite close.
Right? Huh? Huh?
Yeah, there's a little bit of border, so you'll
Um,
have to let me know when you're going. If I'm in Arizona, we could meet up. That would be funny.
I'll let you know.
My dad lives in California too, so I'll be spending a little time there. And I love Arizona, but California is amazing for vacations. Expensive to live in, but amazing for vacations.
Mm, he said that I should go there in October or
That would be
September.
nice. Because it's a
Uh,
beach town, I mean, you could go almost any day of the year and it would be pretty beautiful.
He said that in October or September, it's not crowded.
Yeah, summer vacation is over, so kids are back in school. I could see that being a perfect time to go visit.
Hmm.
All right. So, let's go down to the next page of our notes and we'll talk a little bit more about sports. So, the first one is school PE lessons in English. What would you think if schools started teaching physical education for students in English in Brazil? Do you think that's a good idea to up the English education or a bad idea because students aren't going to understand much?
It's a very good idea if we had good students. That's not the case.
So
I
what's
told
wrong with
you
the
I don't
students
teach
in
anymore.
Brazil?
I don't teach anymore because of them.
Wow, is it that bad?
Yes, it's very bad.
What do you think has changed in the last few years? I mean,
Uh,
were you a good student?
yes, I was. I can say I was not a perfect student, but I was a good student. I mean, I used to do the things that we must do when we are students.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I used to respect my teachers. It doesn't happen anymore. They have a wild behavior and they don't care about teachers anymore, if they are respecting or not. And the worst part is sometimes you cannot solve a problem with the students, and then you need to call their parents. And when their parents come to the school, you realize why they behave like that.
Mm, that's
So
unfortunate.
there's no solution.
Yeah, I agree. I think parents are tricky to deal with when you're talking about younger kids. They never really want to support the teachers, and that can be difficult.
Yeah, and they think like that. Oh, we are not because in the past, fathers used to work. Now, mother and father work. I'm
Hmm.
not saying that a mother should not work. I'm not saying that. But they are too busy today to take care of their children. So they send them to school like, okay, receive my kids and do your job. Like, do my job, I mean.
Yeah, like babysitters, they just don't
Uh-huh,
even want to
I'm
participate.
not there to educate them, I mean, socially. I'm, I, I think we can help as teacher, but social education, it's fathers do, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, that's tough. So, what do you think would be a good solution to that in the future? How do you think the education system should change, or society in general needs to change in order to improve
Society.
that?
Society needs to change,
Mm,
and then the students will change
mhm.
together.
Yeah, definitely. Respect for teachers is something that is necessary if we're going to progress and go forward with this kind of education.
And we don't treasure teachers. I mean,
Hmm.
I can give you an example. I used to have two jobs working for the government as a teacher. I passed two tests, and my salary here today with one job is the double of the salary that I used to have working as a teacher. And I don't think my tasks here are more important than the tasks of a teacher.
Mm, yeah,
Not fair.
I totally agree. I think especially the low wages is a problem for teachers because if you want to recruit teachers that are very educated and good at their job, then you need to pay them a little more, I think.
Hmm. A lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot more. Let's not be shy about it. Teachers definitely don't get enough money. And I think that's true of Brazil, but also true of the US. I think there's a lot of similarities there.
And what about the behavior of students?
Um, it's hard. I think it depends, but I think it's similar in the way that a lot of parents don't necessarily want to they don't want to take an active role in their child's education, and they get upset if the child doesn't do well. So, I mean, most of my experience here comes from my mom because my mom is a Spanish teacher in the US, and she has a lot of trouble with parents because a student will be failing her class because, say, the student never does homework, never studies for tests, and the student is failing. And the parents come in and get really mad at my mom saying that she has failed the student because
Oh my God.
she, yeah, that like she isn't doing her job as a teacher because if she were doing her job, then he would be learning something. But it's just difficult because she can't control what kids do once they leave her classroom, you know? She can't control their study habits or their homework
Yes.
habits or anything like that.
Yes, when I was in the last month of teaching, some people were complaining about, oh, you need to motivate the students. I do believe that uh, us as teachers, we need to motivate the students, but I'm not a clown.
Yeah.
I'm not a clown. I'm not there to make jokes. I was a very friendly teacher. I mean, I was not very um, I forgot the name of the adjective. Strict. I
Mm.
was not strict. I was very friendly. I was always trying to understand their reasons for
Mhm.
doing or not doing things, but it doesn't work. When you don't want to study, it doesn't work.
Mm. And I think someone needs to be there to motivate teachers because it's a really hard job.
Hmm.
All
Yes, and
right.
when I went to the office saying that, oh, risk my name because I'm not going to work here anymore, and they said you are the fourth teacher that
Wow.
is leaving the system today.
Wow. Just in one day?
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah. Definitely a problem. And I think that that needs to be more of a focus politically. But I
Yes.
guess only time will tell how that's going to change.
So about lessons in English, school PE lessons in English,
Uh-huh.
it
So
would
you think
work
that's
if they knew how to understand basics in English. But I don't know if you had the chance to attend an English class in a school. It's not good because you don't learn how to speak, you don't learn how to read, you just you just learn how to understand what is written.
mm.
But if I read something for you and you cannot see the text, you don't understand the student, and they don't care about English in general.
Interesting. Yeah, that's difficult. I mean, I actually thought that it would be really cool to be a teacher at a public school here, but I guess they don't hire immigrants because, and this makes sense, they like public schools only hire Brazilian citizens because that means more jobs are going to Brazilian citizens versus to people from outside the country. So it's not that I disagree with that policy, but I think that it would be kind of cool if there were native native teachers teaching English versus someone else who maybe doesn't know as much, because I think a lot of the teachers, they do their best, but if they don't know that much English, then they can't really teach that much English.
Hmm. And it's not the same in the university because you can work in the university.
Interesting. So university is easier to get a job as a foreign teacher?
We have a foreign teacher here where I work because I work in the physics school. I work for the physics school in the University of Rio de
Oh,
Janeiro.
cool.
And we have a American teacher here. I
Oh,
forgot
great.
his name, but we have one.
That's
And it's a
awesome.
formal job. I mean, it's not temporary.
Not like an under the table position.
No, no, it's not under the table. Formal.
Awesome. I'll have to look into it. Let's do. What do you think of yoga?
Yoga. Like a sport?
Yeah. Do you consider yoga a sport?
No, I don't think it's a sport.
So why not? Why is yoga not a sport?
Uh, because it's yoga, I think it's for you to relax. You don't compete, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's for relaxation and not for like winning.
Can do you see the link,
Yeah, I saw it.
Stefan?
It's so funny. He's very American looking.
Yes. It's easy to see that he's not Brazilian.
Yeah.
And look at uh, look at where he studied. UFMG, Universidade Federal de Minas Gerais.
Oh, hey, that's cool. Very interesting. I wonder what his story is.
He
That's
looks
really
like
cool.
a surfer.
Yeah, he totally does. He looks straight from California or
Yeah.
something.
And he is.
He's from California?
Hmm. Yes, he's
Oh,
from
that's so
California.
funny. That's awesome. Very cool. All right, let's do one more
Okay,
topic.
just a moment because there's
Yeah.
somebody here. Okay?
Who? Oh, yeah, yeah. Take your time. Take your time.
Oi, bom dia. A única coisa que está faltando é o mapa que eu tenho que fazer. É.
Eu tinha colocado aqui a divulgação de aula só para evitar.
Não, eu que tenho que fazer o mapa. Original e cópia do CPF está aqui. E aí você quer que eu mande isso daqui no dia.
Eu só tô. Vou ver se eu faço isso amanhã. Então tá tudo certo os documentos aí.
Não, o que está aqui, como já está tudo assinado, você não precisa fazer mais nada. Você pode deixar aqui comigo. Eu só tenho que saber quando é que eu tenho que abrir esse processo para você.
No caso aí é sexta-feira, né? Só que aí eu tenho que você dar a entrada, eu tiro o chat aqui para você dar a entrada.
Uhum. E aí, sexta-feira, que você vai tomar posse lá também.
Não,
No próximo dia?
no dia
Na
3,
segunda?
no dia 3, cara.
Então, eu posso até enviar, aliás, quando eu abrir o processo aqui, você vai ter acesso ao SAP. Você pode entrar no SAP e imprimir a folha do processo aberto. Você não precisa nem vir aqui. Você sabe o que é o SAP, né?
Sei.
Tá. Aqui, ó. Você vai vir aqui, pesquisar, vai colocar o seu nome aqui, ó. Vai aparecer todos os seus processos. Charles Lourenço, que não é com essa cedilha. Ótimo. Ó, pesquisar. 3 processos. Vai aparecer 4. Porque eu vou abrir. Na sexta-feira. Resultado. O último foi de progressão de capacitação. Foi aberto em 2012. Aí você vai vir aqui, ó. E vai abrir isso aqui. Aí você vem aqui e imprime.
Ok.
Tá bom?
De qualquer jeito eu vou vir também.
Você vai levar de volta ou vai trazer pra mim sexta-feira? Sexta-feira vai ser a André que vai fazer pra você, que eu não tô aqui.
No caso, tinha que falar com o rapaz lá para também ver se tem.
Não, olha só.
Só conversar.
Deixa. Não. Você deixa isso aqui e ele. Quem entregar para ela, eu vou falar para ela. Tem que abrir na sexta-feira. Não pode deixar para fazer outro dia. O negócio dele de fazer outro dia é se você entregar tarde. Mas se eu entregar agora de manhã, ele vai abrir o computador. Não vai fazer. Na sexta-feira.
Ah, então deixa.
Tá bom?
Deixa eu só adicionar a data aqui.
Não. Pode deixar aqui. É tipo 31, né? Falou. Vou deixar aqui na sexta-feira, eu abro.
Fazendo aí, eu posso.
Tá bom.
Muito obrigado.
Nada. Sorry.
No problem. I'm all yours today. All right, let's do one more sports topic before wrapping up class. How about gender in sports? What do you think of women participating in sports like MMA and UFC and these kinds of sports where generally women have not been as much of a presence?
Yes. I like to think that women can do everything that we can do.
All right, so you think it's a good idea?
No, I mean, I
So no one
keep
should
my
be doing it.
opinion. I keep my opinion about fighting and violent sports. But
Mhm.
I think if we can do that, women can also do that.
Mhm. Mhm. All
For
right.
example, it's not so common to see women driving buses, but now
True.
we see it. And I
Mhm.
think it's fair. If you want to, if you're a woman and if you want to drive it, go ahead.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when people warn women against that kind of thing, or at least in my experience, people say, "No, don't do that. It's not safe." But I don't know. I think that you're right. It's something that everyone can do, not just because we're able to, but because I think it's safe for a woman to be a bus driver. Do you think it's more or less safe for a woman to be a bus driver versus a man?
I think it's the same. If it's dangerous for a man, it's going to be dangerous for a woman too. I don't think we're stronger.
Hmm. Interesting. All
I think
right.
it's just a way of thinking. Oh, men are stronger. No, bullshit.
What about in the army? Like, I know that in the US it's sort of recent that women have been gotten the right to be on the front lines, like the infantry that would be seeing battle and that kind of thing. Do you think that even that is a place where there should be equal availability of or equal opportunity for men and women?
They should be equal everywhere, no matter what.
Aww. I like that opinion. I'm
Yeah.
not.
No matter what. If you choose to do something, it doesn't matter if you're a woman or if you're a man. I think the opportunities should be the same.
All right. Raphael has spoken, and I agree. I'm with you on that one.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Is there anything else you wanted to comment on or talk about before we wrap up today?
No, I got so happy because I had a private class for free.
Yeah, thank you for coming. You kept me company this morning. If you weren't here, I don't know what I would have done. All right. Have a great day, Raphael.
Oh, thank you so much. Bye bye, Michaela.
Talk to you later. Bye.